Alright guys, here we are with Real Talk, Bruce and Dave. Unfortunately for us, Bruce is unavailable right now, so you just got the cool, sweet Dave, bro. We're going to take a look here at NASCAR Heat Evolution 2, or NASCAR Heat 2, sorry. A quick little backstory to this game. NASCAR Heat, the first one came out on PlayStation 1, and it was a dope game at the time. But they just kind of stopped making it, you know. So we're just sitting here now. We're going to test out the new one that they just brought out in September, and we're going to see how this game works. As you can see, I've already played a little bit on here, but we're just going to sit here and check out what you get with the season pass, what your overall career value is, what you can totally do on this game. Okay, so you see we got quick race, we have split screen, which is basically, you know, quick race with somebody on your system. Championship, so you can do a full championship season, whether you want to do the full season, the playoffs, Xfinity, trucks, or NASCAR Monster Energy Series. So either one of them, you can do it full season, or you can do just the playoffs with NASCAR, with the monster cars. Let's see. We have challenges. Okay, so with the season pass, you get these a couple, 5 more challenge packs. Okay, cool. So you have 29 of them. Let's see what we got. We're gonna start this off. Let's do Bristol. So you got to take over with Clint with 15 laps to go and chase down, looks like Jimmy Johnson to win Bristol.
After a rain-soaked Sunday, the Food City 500 was moved to Monday. With the application of resin to improve grip, it was unclear which part of the track would run the fastest. Unfortunately, Clint Boyer found the pits a little too quickly and caught a speeding penalty on lap 61. Clint fought his way back and he found himself in second place with 15 laps to go. That's as close as he got, as race leader Jimmy Johnson held Clint off for the win. Let's rewrite history. Take over for Clint.
Alright, so what it looks like we're going to do is replay one of the old races. I guess Clint Boyer got a speeding penalty or something in the pits, and he fought his way back up to second, but he couldn't catch Jimmy Johnson. So our objective is going to be to catch Jimmy Johnson and win this race. If it ever loads. It appears that there's a little bit of a load time with this.
Steady wheel. All clear, all clear.
Damn it, I put my cigarette down, guys.
Outside, real tight. Clear quick. Outside, hold your line. Clear low.
Let's see if we can catch him again.
Outside to go. Outside. Clear outside. Clear to go.
There we go. Well, looks like we were able to rewrite history, you guys. Woohoo! As you can see, the SP, that's just like your XP, your experience points that you earn from each race. You get that based off of your speed rating and how many laps you complete. You beat the challenge and been awarded a video. Let's take a look, guys. Let's go view this video.
Bristol's one of those tracks you start finish line, you get off into one, boy, you're carrying a tremendous amount of speed and she's going left in a hurry. Car slamming that thing down into the bank, you can hear just mashing on the gas as hard as you can and right back down, ripping down the back straightaway. Get into three, the car wants to get loose. You know, again, you got to have it that way a little bit because you need it to be free in the center so the car can rotate. You can get that throttle down and beat that car in front of you to the throttle because that's how you're going to pass at Bristol.
Oh, okay, so that's pretty neat. Give you a little video telling you how to properly drive the tracks, you know. So let's get out of here. Let's go check out something else. Let's see. To be honest, I've played the multiplayer on here. Not a big fan of it. A lot of people, what they tend to do is when they come in here to the multiplayer and they have a chance to set up their let's go to race lobbies first. Okay, so as you can see here, the types of races there are, all of these are hosted, so basically it just means whoever's in the lobby, it bounces from player to player. As you see, race status, it tells you where they're at, whether they're in the lobby right here, where they're just sitting here waiting to get more people to start the race. Overtime, they're on a green-white checker, and 6 out of 6 laps, so on and so forth, right? Tells you what kind of track category you have, whether this one here is Xfinity, you have your camping series, you have the Monster Energy series, Also tells you what track they're at, what the length is, what the wear patterns are, how many players are in each lobby, and who the current host of the lobby is. But the reason I'm not a big fan of this, as you can see here, hosted, where it says players, you have 2 out of 31. Therefore, it means that that lobby is going to have AI players in it. Those are good lobbies to get into just because it's more, you have the ability to catch up via drafting. Instead of these like lobbies like this guy, 9 out of 20. Those are just player lobbies. Player lobbies are okay if that's your kind of cup of tea. It just means there's only 9 cars on the track, so there's less opportunities for you to catch up and get back to the lead. So I prefer personally the AI lobbies. That way you can draft off of the CPUs and see where you can go. But not a lot of people start those. You can hit triangle here, create a lobby. You can make it public, private. You can choose your series, right? And you can host it or normal. I always choose normal. And then with your track category, you can set it to different track categories, so you have certain things, right? So single tracks, all the super speedways, all the speedways, short tracks, road courses, so on and so forth. The best thing, in my opinion, to get the best overall advantage is the Monster Energy 12 track set, because you get two short tracks, which is Bristol and Martinsville, so they're pretty even. Martinsville's a little bit more flat in the corner, so it's a little bit harder for you to gain. And then you obviously have the super speedways, which are easy. It's full speed, full throttle. You very rarely have to let off the gas. Then you obviously get to choose your race length. So 2% is the lowest, 3, 4, 7, 13, 25, 50, and 100. So you got to think, what are most people going to be able to stay in for? So most people stay in for short tracks 20 laps, speedways 10 laps, and then super speedways like 5. So if you want to do that, then you're going to want to go down to about 7%. A little bit more, you go to 13. I would never go above 25, just because unless you're spending 3 hours per race, there's no reason to go over that. Then we have here your tire wear and your fuel consumption, right? So you can have normal 2 times, 3, 4 times, which is a nice little additive to it. You can change the amount of players you have in your lobby, right? You can enable your voice chat so you guys can talk smack back and forth. AI cars, I always put it on just because there's more opportunities to draft. Flags, that's kind of a personal preference. If you play with a buddy or something, flags are fine in my opinion. If you play against other AI or other players, I would go ahead and leave it disabled, just because a lot of the guys, they have a tendency to wreck people just to gain position, track position. So it depends, it's kind of one of those personal. And then obviously you have your stages. So you have 3 stages, which is like what NASCAR runs right now, or you could just leave it disabled, which is like what the Xfinity and the Truck Series do, where they just run until it's over. Now with the stages, what it does is it breaks it down. So if you say you have 200 laps, right? So you'll have stage 1, which is 50 laps, stage 2, which is 50 laps, and then stage 3, which is the final 100, right? So you get points based on your finishing positions in the first 2 stages, which then determines your starting point on the 3rd and final stage. So that's a little look into the multiplayer features. News feed, this is going to be anytime they add any updates. You can come in here and see what all the updates are about, so on and so forth, right? And then you have your My Driver. Now the one thing I don't like about the My Driver this year, it's kind of a little basic, but at the same time it's not too bad, right? So you can customize your car for any of your series, right? And this goes towards your career series as well. So if you choose career and you sign with a team and you want to use your custom car, this is where you customize your car. Otherwise it's going to be flat black with white numbers, nothing else on it. No sponsorship, no nothing. That's the other thing though about career. I don't like the career mode. There's no real guidance to it, right? Customizing your driver. Whew. You got your loading assets here. Okay. And then you can choose whether you want a male or a female, right? You can change their body build, but as you can see, the body build, it doesn't change your body. So what's the point of putting it there? Hair, as you can see, you can't really see the hair, so what's the point of putting hair on there? Let me take the hat off and see what my hair looks like, you know? You can change the hair color, brown, black, whatever. Then you can change your head shape. That's probably the most customizable feature they have in this game. Then you can change all your beards, mustaches, whatever floats your boat. You can change the color of that to match your hair. Eyebrows, you can change your shapes, which is, you know, it is what it is. And I do like this feature. They allowed you to choose your skin tone, so you could be anybody you want. So olive, white, pale, darker, tan, brown, all the way up to a dark black person. You know what I mean? Which is awesome because, dude, let's be honest. Diversity is a big part of this world, and if you don't incorporate everybody, then what's the point in it, you know? Go back to my white boy. You can change your nose, give yourself some pig nose. I don't know why anybody would do that. That's just kind of stupid. You can also flare your nostrils, so there you go, you got true pig nose. Then you can change the bridge, make it wider, make it smaller, so on and so forth. You can change the length of the nose too. You see how the shadow on it, big old pointy honker. You can change your chin length, fullness. You can change the bone structure, whether you have high cheekbones or lower cheekbones. So I mean, they did do a little bit of customizing to it. You can change your eye color to match whatever your actual eye color is. They've got plenty of choices there. And then obviously you can change your brow. I personally like my guy looking a little angry. You can change the ridge, so as you can see where it is, looks like it's pointing inwards a little bit harder. But then once you're done, hit X, save your guy, you're good to go. Now your profile icon. Now this isn't necessarily a big deal, but as you can see where the little green arrow in the top left is pointing, it changes your number. Okay, that's just a little whatever. It doesn't really matter. It has no effect on the game whatsoever. It's not saying that's your favorite driver. That's not saying anything like that. Me personally, I'm a huge Dale Earnhardt fan, so of course I went with the number 3. Even though I completely disagree with Childress bringing it back and giving it to some rookie named Austin Dillon. And then your victory song, you can obviously change your victory song to whatever you want. They have a nice little mixture in here of some rock, country, hip hop, pop, electric, and miscellaneous. If you get the game, to be honest, going through this, it's hilarious. Some of those songs on there are cool. Some of them are just like, dude, what are you thinking? Then you have the PlayStation Store, which that's where you can go buy all your packs, so on and so forth. I already have all the packs, so I ain't worried about that. But with that, I just have to go. I think I gotta go download them, maybe. Auto shut down. I don't know what that was about. My headset just tried to turn off on me. And then you have your options, right? So you have your game settings, your control, sound, miscellaneous. This is where you change everything. So your game settings, you can change it from auto. Like you can change the difficulty of the bots you're facing. As you see, you can customize the difficulty all the way up to 105 and make it absolutely hard, which is fine if that's what you like. Most people that are going to get this, they just want to play around a little bit. I would go with auto, or even auto easy. Auto easy, you're going to win like 90% of your races. Then you can change your race length here. As you can see, I always leave mine at 7. change your wear and tear, change your flags. You can also change how you qualify, right? Like, okay, so if we go higher race length, you can change to a 3-stage race, which I'm not a big fan of the stage racing. That's the new fad in NASCAR, whatever. So you have different kinds of qualifying. You have the practice, where you can go out and practice run, I think it's roughly about 40-50 laps. And then you can come into the pits, make any changes you want to make changes. And if you haven't used your whole practice time up, you can go back out and do it again. Then you have your qualifying, which it's a 2-lap qualifying session, just like NASCAR. And then you have your race. Then you can have practice, quick qualify, which is a 1-lap qualifying session, and then a race. Me personally, my personal preference is the quick qualify. Do 1 lap, qualify, and there you go, you're done. You can change the damage. Damage does affect how your vehicle drives in this game. So if you wreck the car, it'll be full damage, you know, and you'll be not able to drive in the race. Then you have your stability help, which is like if you're going into corners, it'll always head in there. Now you can use custom setups, so you can customize your car setups, and then you can obviously go from automatic to manual. So I mean, really, whatever you feel is best bet for you, that's what you need to do. Oh, it's not what I want. There we go, got it. Alright, so then you have your sound, obviously. You can change the effect sound, your spotter's volume, your music volume. Obviously, I turned it down because, for some reason, in our videos in the past, whenever we've had the music on, we've been reported for copyright. I don't understand how you could be reported for copyright if the song's in a game. So, we just made sure that we're just going to play without the volume, so ain't no way for us to get in trouble, right? Then you have your music credits. As you see, the list of all the people who sing on here. There's some good songs on here. Me personally, I actually enjoy all of the songs on this game. I think that's the one thing they did amazingly perfect in it. And then your legal, that's just, you know, blah blah blah, copyrights. Let's go take a look at our career. I've already started, so we can go ahead and continue. Now with the career mode, I like the way it starts out, right? So you start out in the Camping World Truck Series, and you start doing hot seats. So basically, you're going to do about 6 races, and then you're going to get offers from teams to come sign with them. And then once you sign with that team, you're going to race a full season, all 33 races. Okay? Then at the end of that 33, or during that 33 race season, you're going to get 5 to 6 offers to race for Xfinity. So once you do those races, you're going to get offers to join the Xfinity team at the end of the first season. Now, you can choose, if you want, to stay a full-time Truck Series racer and take a full-time Xfinity Series racer and then do part-time in Monster whenever they call you up for their races. You do about, I think, 6 to 7 with NASCAR, or with the Monster Series. And then at the end of this season I'm currently on, season 2, you're going to be offered a full-time ride from several teams with the Monster Series. Now the way to check that out, you go to your teams, and as you can see, I've got 22 teams interested in signing me for the Truck Series and 22 for Xfinity, and I only have 6 for the Monster, and that's because I haven't raced a full season yet with them. I've already raced for Richard Petty and Front Row and GBR and RWR, and I raced for Hendricks. Now, the good thing about this, right? So, when you sign with your team, they give you however many options, you know. So, if I signed with Hendricks, I would get the option for 5 different cars. Alright, so the 5 cars they'd give me is Dale Earnhardt, Jimmy Johnson, Chase Elliott, or Casey Kane. I could choose any of those cars to drive, right? And then the 5th option is to use a custom car. Custom cars are nice because you can totally choose what the layout is on the car and the design and so on and so forth, right? Now, for me, I signed with Stewart Haas Racing. Okay, I took over Kevin Har or bleh, I don't know why I'm having a hard time saying his name. Kevin Harvick. I took over the number 41 car for Kevin Harvick, so that's the car I drive. Now, I don't have any say in customizing the paint schemes or any of that, which I don't like. But as you can see, the amount of money you earn per race, it goes up here to your season total where it says season 2 in bright green lights. As you can see, I've won about $7 million in earnings. I've got about 550,000 fans. It's not too bad, right? But the downside is there's nothing to spend the money on. It's just a sign of your success. So what's the point of earning the money in the first place? When you go see your rivals, you'll be able to switch between series. Or you'll just be able to see whatever series you're currently signed full-time to. So as you can see, I'm pretty neutral with most of the guys. Actually, I'm friendly with a ton of them in the Xfinity series. But I'm neutral with most of them. And then, obviously, as you can see, I've got 5 guys that are mad. Daniel Suarez, I'm not going to lie, man. I hate Kyle Busch. So every time I see that 18 car, I wreck him. Brandon Gaughan, Elliott Sadler, Eric Jones, they're just byproducts of, rough racing. Like I said, I like Dale. I like the Intimidator, Dale Earnhardt, man. Because the way he raced was no nonsense. You get in my way, I'll get you out of my way. You can check out your stats, your career stats, as you see your truck series. Mine's blacked out because I'm not signed to a team, but you can see all your stats for each category, so you can keep tabs on where you're at moving up through the ranks. As you see your schedule, you can skip races if you want. You can switch series, standings. You can toggle your standing stats. So you see I'm 29th in the Monster Series, and I'm first in the Xfinity Series. You can toggle the other stats too, which gives you an idea on who is where on the playoff. So you have your 12 playoff teams, team drivers that could use a win to get in, and then how many points are needed for them to get into the playoff. So Jeremy Clements is on the outside looking in right now. Brad Keselowski and Casey Kane, they have to win a race in order for them to be playoff eligible. So let's go get us some. Get us some of that. Let's see. And that's the other thing. With the seasons, you get your opportunity to select your goals. So I have to finish in 5 top 10s, 1 top 5, and complete 5 races to earn 56 grand, which, to be honest, it doesn't really matter because the money ain't worth anything. Yeah, with each track they give you an idea on who's driving and what they're doing for what, you know what I mean? So you get to meet the driver. Woohoo! Don't really meet him. I don't know what the point of that is. Alright, let's see here. Next session we'll skip you to the race. So I don't want to skip to the race. I want to qualify. And there's my qualifying. So I qualified way back in 31st.
Almost ready. Check your belts. We're going green. Ready, baby? Let's go get it. low, stay low. Hold steady well. Clear, clear. That was a really good one. Outside real tight. All clear. Outside real tight. Easy, easy. Clear. Inside, inside. Clear, clear. Just one more lap to go.
Want to try to wreck me, bitch? I'll wreck you. Oh yeah. Which 13th looks like it's gonna be 13th out of 30, but you know that ain't too bad. 13th out of 43. I'll take that. That's not a bad finish, especially starting in 31st. So. But anyways, guys, just wanted to give you guys a taste of what NASCAR Heat 2 looks like. So, if you like what you do, you know what to do. Hit that like button and subscribe.